Welcome to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while loving a sapphic Rosh Hashanah romp with all the spice.
Gonna love what we love, do it out loud. Stack our shelves with the clinches out. Shout it from the rooftop, can you hear the sound? Yeah. Live your best life, love it out loud. Love it out loud.
Hey HBs, if you observe them, I hope your high holidays have started out great. But we'll get to more of that later. So on Friday, Sabrina and I are back with those dinosaur boys on our Patreon and Apple Podcasts subscription. We're recapping the fifth book in Maz Maddox's Relic series, Gardens and Ghosts, or Gardens and Galoshes if you're nasty. It's the final book in that series, and it features the grumpy, grieving patriarch and the born sexy yesterday newest member of their little chosen family. Look, there's a dildo named Rex and some semi-related bathroom demolition, and you're gonna want to hear about it. All right? That's Friday. We've also got some wonderful people who have joined our Patreon community recently, and I get to show them some love right now. Welcome, you enchanting little axolotls. Wheezy P, Rusty McP, Chloe M, Danielle R, Donna W, Connor, and Rhiannon. If bonus content isn't your jam, come play with us on social media. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, and our wonderful Facebook group. I'll put all of those links in the show notes so you can, access them easily. Now, this week we're recapping a book by an HB author we love. Here's the first part of our recap of Higher by Roz Alexander. Hello, Sabrina.
Oh, hello, Melody.
Ooh.
How are you today?
I'm great. I'm so excited to talk about this book. Happy late Rosh Hashanah, Jewish HBs. Rosh Hashanah was last week, so here we are.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We realized Rosh Hashanah was at the end of this month. Mel and I had talked about wanting some kind of sapphic romp.
Yeah.
And how convenient that there is, in fact, a sapphic romp about Rosh Hashanah that I have previously read. I don't even remember when I read it. It was a couple of years ago, though.
Yeah.
And
I love a Roz Alexander.
Let's fucking do
so
it.
we're recapping Higher by Roz Alexander.
Mm-hmm, which is part of their Hot for the Holidays series, which features a bunch of Jewish holidays. And this is just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was delightful. I felt seen in lots of ways. Also, did you listen to this on audio or did you read it?
I read it. I don't think it's on audio. I read it with my eyeballs.
Okay, I wasn't sure I wasn't sure if it was on audio or not. Well, I just really liked it because in that case, did you see the author's note at the beginning discussing the stone identity and things like that, and how I thought it was really, I don't remember when this book came out. I don't there's a lot of things I don't remember about that specifically, but it was really nice to read that because especially in this day and age with the internet, I remember growing up queer.
Yeah.
Terms stuck around a lot longer, right? It took a lot longer for it to cycle around that terms, different terminology, was more or less acceptable, right?
Okay.
It just took longer when I was younger for it to make it through the rounds that, hey, we don't really use that word anymore, and things like that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, as terminology changes, it doesn't change the fact that some people identify
Of
that
course.
whether or not that that might not be the term
Mhm.
that is socially acceptable within the community to use, whatever, but it doesn't change the fact that
That's the one that fits the best for some people.
it's
still.
their identity.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's just as bad to police somebody's identity and be like, hey, you can't use that term anymore because blah, blah, blah. Like, because that's just not the acceptable. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I've identified as a fucking stone butch for the last 35 years, so you
Mhm.
can suck my fat strap.
That's
like,
right.
Sorry, bud.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and so I just thought it was really nice reading her. So I just thought it was really nice reading their, like, acknowledgement at the beginning. Like,
Yes.
hey, for all you youngsters out there, you might not use the term stone anymore,
Mhm.
but, like, that was, like, I was definitely at the tail end of, at the very least, at the tail end of that. Like, I knew a lot of people who identify as stone, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So it was just really
Did
delightful.
you see the extra resources at the very end of the book?
Yes.
'Cause those were
Dang it,
awesome.
I meant to go read those articles before we record. I read them back when I first
Mhm.
read the book
Yeah.
because it was really nice, but I forgot to reread them this time around.
Yeah, well, one of them, so there are a lot of pollinator resources, everybody, because this book does include one of my favorite things.
I had forgotten about all of that, and when I was reading it, I was like, melody
Yeah.
catnip.
Yeah. But then there is this I read it this morning. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I knew I wasn't going to go to sleep for like a cool 2 hours, you know? So I was like, I'm going to do some, perusing on the internet. Anyway, there's a really, really good essay about the stone identity by Zan West, and that is linked in the resources at the very, very end of the book. It's a WordPress article. And one of the contentions of Zan West is to like separate stone from gender and have it be more about like sexual preference. So you can be a stone femme or a stone butch when, like, classically, stone was a butch term, period, the end. That's how it was understood in like the 50s and 60s, 40s and 50s. I don't know.
Whatever. A long time ago.
A while ago.
Was it in this author's note where Roz was it may have been in the, I wish I'd reread the author's note now, but the person was talking about what butch means. And I loved the definition that I read, which is somebody who presents masculine, who you don't expect to present masculine or something like that, which was like it's just a lot more encompassing than my generation.
Yeah.
Of
on butch identity,
butch
someone
queers.
once told me that their definition of butch was anyone who is masculine who the world thinks should not be. I like it for its simplicity, though no definition can hold the complexities and histories of butch identity, pain, joy, and liberation. This story is about two butches falling in love. It's also set in a world, our world, that believes butches can be many different things.
This reminded me, though, of when I was a young lesbian.
Okay.
Where, like, this book is talking about, like, butch for butch. That's so unusual. No. No. I
didn't think so.
All the butches wanted butches when I was. Everybody wanted butch lesbians when I, like, at least where I happened to live.
Sure.
Because, like, I was, like, very chapstick lesbian when I was younger.
Okay.
And so it was like, how do I fit into this?
Sure. A chapstick lesbian is like femme, but not super duper made up or whatever. Is that right?
I think that it came, I think this could be all entirely wrong.
It's your
but
personal experience, whatever.
I always understood it to be that lipstick lesbians are super femme.
Yeah.
Butch is
very mask.
And then chapstick is just, you wear chapstick.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Like, one is lipstick,
somewhere
one
in between.
Is nothing, one is chapstick. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Which, looking back, if you really start diving into the details of it, it breaks down immediately. But that's fine. It's fine. Let's just.
I mean, I think it does because
basically everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the reasons that the essay that's linked at the end really hit me is because I also don't think that gender and sexuality should be linked, you know? And that's sort of what that spectrum tries to do, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I think that it's been going on a long time, but you're right. One, it shouldn't, but it really just gets so complicated.
Of course.
Because the whole discussion as, like, trans is becoming more, like, is more accepted and, various queer communities and things like that, there are a lot of people who, like, just from this is just my personal experience, but like I remember like lesbians growing up. It was like they identified as a lesbian, but it was cis women. Period. That's it. You know what I mean? Like it's not it's not trans women, it's not cis men, it's not well, and like I don't know. It just gets really complicated. And I think that part of the challenge is that people want to put these really, really strict terms on things regarding gender and sex and things like that. And you can't. One, if you're getting really strict about all of that kind of thing, like where do intersex people fall into that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
You can feel however you feel, but ultimately you don't get to put that kind of shit on other people.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I could end up in a whole ass rant about this, but I will not. And let's talk about some fun Butch for Butch, because I forgot how funny this book was.
It's very funny.
I was very much laughing out loud at certain points. So,
oh, wait, and I wanted to say one more thing. I'm so sorry about the front of the book, because Roz Alexander is wonderful. Not only is there that really thoughtful author's note, but they also include a glossary of terms that cover not only a lot of Jewish words, whether it's like Yiddish or different types of Jewish identity and things like that was really helpful for this Gentile, honestly. Yeah, it was wonderful. So thank you so much, Roz, for helping a sister out. Okay. So as we stated, this is a Rosh Hashanah novel. It's a little shorty one. It's like, what, 150, 60 pages or something like that? Yeah.
And it was just fun. So we open up with Tali, and her younger sister is just coming out of high school, and she really wants to go on, like, I didn't really understand what she was going to Germany to do, but she needed to throw an event to do it.
So my understanding is that it's not like a college experience, but it's like a post-high school kind of school-ish program in Germany.
It's in place of college.
Yeah. So it's not really like a trade school, because there's no hands-on trade, but I think it's a training program for something else. Regardless, I'm wondering if it's a training program for some sort of social activism, because one of the requirements is throwing an event that's like advocating for something and then keeping them updated with your progress as you go. So you don't have to have the event being like, the event doesn't have to be finished by the time she sends in the application. She just needs to like keep on updating them with the status. And so she really, really, really wants to do an event to benefit the pollinators for Rosh Hashanah that year. Very excited. This book came out in 2021, by the way. I looked at it while we were chatting earlier. And the idea is to connect with a really ecologically focused artist that's in the area to do a bunch of decorating and art that it sort of connects the members of the synagogue back to nature and like reminding them that native plants are incredible and like build yourself a pollinator garden. It can be really, really small.
Melody catnip.
What? Yes, all of it. Yeah.
Beginning
One of my favorite things, listener, I don't know that we're going to talk about it later, so I'm just going to tell you now. One of my favorite things is that Roz describes one of the art pieces as having a bunch of mirrors in it, and I'm pretty sure they're cut into shapes of like leaves or something like that. So it's like a tree, but there's a bunch of mirrors so that the viewer is literally putting themselves into the nature in the art. Ugh!
I think it's fascinating because I don't remember that at all. And I've read this book twice now.
This is why we need both of us.
Yeah, between the two of us, we make up one knowledged podcaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so she has decided this, and if you don't know, I didn't know. I did a little bit of looking into Rosh Hashanah just because I was curious. It's not something I'm super familiar with.
Yeah.
But it's the festival of milk and honey. And so that's the idea behind this. I thought it was really interesting. All of the pollinator stuff. I always forget that there's other pollinators. But they were talking about people don't really like wasps, but they're
really
great
good
at
so
it.
Are
or
moths. Moths are very good pollinators.
Yeah, it was just fun. It was like, okay, yeah, give me the knowledge. I'm learning, it was a little shorty book, but like I learned a little bit about Rosh Hashanah, and I learned a
Yeah.
little bit about pollinators other than bees, and I learned a little bit about miscellaneous things, and it was just a lot of fun. So
Yeah, Rosh
we're
Hashanah
here,
also
and
is the Jewish New Year, which is, I think, one
yes,
of the ways that most people understand it or whatever. I didn't realize it was also the festival of milk and honey. That's very cool.
yeah, I didn't Google that specifically, but they say it in this book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the tie-in.
Yeah.
Is yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you didn't. Sorry, I thought you were saying you didn't remember
Oh,
from
no
the book.
worries. No worries.
Anyway,
So we're opening with Tally.
yeah, so we're talking to Tally. She's talking to her sister, and her sister is like, "Hey, I really want to do this thing. I need you, if you're up for it, to go talk to this artist for me on my behalf." And she's like, "I guess this isn't an option, but like, if we're gonna do this, then you have to apply to local schools. Like, you need a backup if this doesn't pan out,
Right.
kind of thing." And her sister is like, "Okay, yeah, sure, whatevs, bud, let's do it."
Mhm.
And then she's like, "Oh man, okay, fine." So she goes and she's like, because it's pretty early. This is back in like April, like March or April at this point.
Yeah.
And they don't usually plan this far ahead, but she goes to the rabbi who she's like buddy with.
Yeah.
And she is the assistant to the rabbi,
Mhm.
I think. Some flavor of get shit done person.
She also runs the
within
teen
synagogue.
programs at the synagogue.
Yes. And she's talking to him and he's like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine. That sounds great." And she's like, "Wow, I was kind of and he's like, "You were hoping I'd say no and be the bad guy, huh?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah,
Ideally,
obviously."
Simon, okay? God. Okay, also, let's give them like a little overview of Tally. Tally is this pint-sized, very mad about it. Always gets like called out for being the shortest one in her family.
And it's, to be clear, she doesn't just like get called the short. If somebody makes a comment that is just a comment, but it implies that she's short
Ooh.
and that is not the intention, she's like,
Oh, she
"Can we
feels
keep
it.
the short things to a minimum?"
Gah.
And it's like, Callie, that was just I don't think that was
That was just a regular
a
thing.
statement. That was just a regular, okay,
Yeah.
all right, let's go.
Yeah, so Tally is butch. She's also the eldest in the family, and that is pretty critical to her overall sense of her identity.
And oh my God, listener, the family dynamic in this book
Yeah.
was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because all three of the siblings, like the mother chose to be a single mom. She was like,
Yeah.
I don't want a partner, but I do want children. And so Tally has two half sisters,
Nope.
and they're half sisters technically because they were from the same donor.
No.
Tally's from somebody different.
Oh, yeah, the two sisters are half sisters to each other. No.
yes,
No, the sisters are full.
They're full. The two younger sisters are full sisters.
And she's
They're from the same
she's
donor.
adopted.
That's what it was.
Tally's
She's adopted.
adopted,
I knew that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tally was adopted. This is so cool and so wonderful. She's adopted because the mom's, like, one of her other teen friends got pregnant in teenage years, and her family wasn't going to let her keep it. And so Bubby saw this other girl as another one of her daughters. And so Bubby was like, "Oh God, no, I'll adopt the baby. It'll be fine." But at the same time, the mom, Bubby's daughter, the other teen, really made basically her whole life around Tally and
Mhm.
essentially became her mom by choice, right? Bubby was the
Guardian.
guardian. Yeah, thank you. But the mom is the mom from like heart and soul. And then afterwards, she decided that she wanted to have more kids and did the donor thing twice. So it is
just made
so
me
so
really
cool.
happy.
Yeah, really, really,
Mhm.
truly. And one of the other things about Tally is that she is one semester away from graduating rabbinical school, but her mom got really, 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 really sick. She was diagnosed with some sort of terminal cancer. So she decided to leave rabbinical school and come back and support the family, take care of her mom in those last few months. And that was 7 years ago.
Yeah, then she just never went back.
Yeah.
And she kept telling herself and telling everybody else, it's like, I need to be here for my family. I need to be here for my family.
Yeah.
But over the course of the book, she's like, I was still healing. Like, I was still
Of
figuring out
course.
myself after that happened.
Of course.
And her big wake-up call is in this book because she's starting to realize my family loves me.
Yeah.
But they're they're flying the nest.
They're
Like, they're
independent
living their own
people.
lives. Like, they don't need me the way that they needed me 11 years ago or 7 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
And oh man, as an eldest and parentified child, like that hit me really, really hard because Tally, all throughout the book, thinks that she's taking care of the youngest. Annie, right? Her name is Annie?
Yep.
Great question. And she thinks she's taking care of her, but when she really gets out the magnifying glass and looks at herself and her choices, she's like, ugh, or am I just trying to hang on too tight? Right? Like, I understand that she wants to make sure she has a backup school and all of that, but at the end of the day, Tally just doesn't want Annie to leave because then she won't need her as urgently anymore, or she won't feel as urgently needed, I should say. So yeah, that's a big, big part of Tally's overall identity at the moment. Not to mention the fact,
like, being needed by family.
Yes, absolutely. And also through her work, she, like I said, she runs the teen programs. So she gets that need gets fed through the temple as well. Hey, HBs. Pippa Grant has a hilarious rom-com that's hot off the presses and ready for you. I was hooked on the premise alone. An unforgettable revenge date between a famous British single dad and a small-town girl who's ready to mic drop her way into her best future. Here's the description. I might be the only person not obsessed with Simon Lockwood, Hollywood's hottest leading man and the newest part-time resident of my little hometown. I don't trust the way he's always smiling. No one smiles that much. And I'm clearly missing something because I don't get why the character Simon played on his weird hit TV show is so popular. But revenge is a dish best served cold, just like the dishes on the menu at the restaurant my ex stole from me. So, Simon feels guilty enough about his twin teenage boys accidentally getting me arrested that he wants to take me out on an apology date? I see the perfect opportunity to get mine. One night, one date, one very loud public scene at my ex's grand opening, and then I can wash my hands of men forever. That's exactly how it has to go, because my life cannot handle one more plot twist. And readers agree it's a must-read, okay? One of the reviewers said, Pippa really outdid herself with this one. I loved all the characters and laughed out loud so many times at their shenanigans and swooned at the beautiful romance. Another said, chaos, laughter, heart. This book is pure Pippa Grant magic, a rom-com that will make you cackle 1 minute and melt into a puddle the next. Between revenge dates, chaotic side characters, and a single dad hero who somehow manages to be both a golden retriever and a Hollywood heartthrob, this story is impossible to put down. I put buy links in the show notes, and I have heard through the grapevine that in addition to being on e-reader and on audiobook, that they're gonna do paperbacks with sprayed edges and stuff like that. Look, check it out. I'm putting the links, okay? And you click the links, and then you can find out about sprayed edges or whatever, all right? Oh, rom-coms are needed right now. Bye! Also, Tally is the sweetest grump, okay?
Oh my gosh.
This
she's
hard
so
shell.
She's so
Get outta
grumpy
here.
and just so it is hiding just the squishiest, softest little core.
Yeah.
Like she is so sweet, but by God, Tally, oh boy, you are just so pokey on the outside, you prickly little porcupine, you.
Yeah.
Because there is no such thing as good faith with Tally.
No.
You are guilty until proven innocent.
Quite. Yeah.
As
and
far
I
as
don't
Tally
hate
is
that
concerned.
energy these days, you know?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I wish I was more like
Agreed.
that. You know, like it's real easy to get burned when you take everybody at face value and give them the benefit of the doubt. And you're like, yeah, that's in good faith that they're doing that. No, they're
Why
Quite
would
often
somebody
they're
lie
not,
to me about
actually.
that? Why would somebody do
Why
that?
would somebody not say the true thing out
Yeah,
loud?
I would never
Why
do
would
that.
they not
Why would
do
anybody
that?
else? Well, dummy.
Yeah, exactly.
You hot dummy.
Oh boy, you are. You would have been taken in by a lot of con men in
Indeed.
the 1850s.
Yeah.
You know.
Meanwhile,
So anyway,
she goes to visit this artist, and the artist's name is Maple. And we know nothing about
that is
her.
all she knows.
That's it.
And then, listener, we're in Maple. We take a little trip with Zach. Little Zippy Zach. And we are in Maple's point of view. And Maple is hanging out in a bar. And then Maple looks over her shoulder.
Uh-oh.
And she's here to meet with the future she's here to meet with this
No,
person,
she's not.
Tally, who's...
Nope, not at all. She's at
not.
a bar, period, the
No,
end.
the meeting is the
socializing.
next morning.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, then she happens to look over her shoulder, and there is...
the cutest, hottest, grumpiest Butch walks in.
Tiniest little Butch walks in. And she's like, oh man, boy, I felt real seen by this, because she's like, oh man, I can't be seen just staring at her.
Right.
Guess I'm gonna pretend to watch golf. I'm just so interested in the golf game on the TV
That's right.
at the other end of this bar. And I was like, Maple, you smooth motherfucker. And then, been there, she has a seat next to her. There are plenty of other seats at the bar, but Tally walks up to Maple, sit next to Maple instead, and she's like, is this seat taken? And Maple is like, oh my goodness, I was hoping that this chick would come sit next to me, but also like, oh no, what if she made this decision because she is actually into golf, and now she thinks because of my rabid fascination with what is happening on TV,
oh God, is she
I'm
going to
also
talk
into
golf? Oh no.
And so they start talking, and they're so fucking funny in this. Like, this first scene is just so like on the floor funny, because so Tally orders a stout, and Maple says, what even is a stout? And Tally says, honestly, no idea.
know.
I don't like beer, but I panicked, so now I'm drinking a stout when he finds one, I guess. And then, because Tally is the most awkward, scruffy, angry little potato, she goes, so, and like awkward potato specifically, she looks at Maple and goes, you a fruity drink fan? Wait, I mean like cocktails that are fruit forward. I wasn't using fruity to mean, gay, Maple said, laughing. It's just juice. I don't drink, and I am gay. And then Tally gets real flustered because now she knows that that's a gay lady. And it was so funny because she's like, yeah, I also don't drink.
No. She says, yeah, same. And then Maple says, you don't drink or you're gay.
Well,
right?
No.
Oh, no. Maple says, you don't drink either. That's what it is.
Maple says, you don't drink either. And then specifically, very importantly, says, what are you going to do with that stout then? Pour it in your butch bag? And it was very amusing. And then Tally looks at Maple and is like, hey, I mean, I am, though. Like, I am also gay.
Yeah.
And Maple says, hun, you don't need to tell me you're gay. NASA could tell me that you're gay. Like, and then, or I don't have
honey,
that highlighted.
I do. Honey, people on the moon can tell you're gay, with or without NASA's help. You've got butch swagger for days. And then the shorter woman's face heated again.
But then, listener, this is so fucking hysterical because they're right. This is so accurate. I'm not even from the Midwest, but this is accurate because Tally says, maybe that's true. Or maybe I'm a straight, hardworking Midwestern woman with no time for makeup.
How do you know it's not that?
I'm going to just say that I'm not from the Midwest, but it's not just the Midwest. It is also in the Deep South where you're like, I'll bet that person is gay. And then you find out, no, they're not. They're just a hardworking,
just don't give any fucks,
middle-aged, and you're like,
you can take your Cosmopolitan and go fuck yourself.
All right, I see. You don't keep your keys on a carabiner on your front left belt.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, But
It's fine.
then she's like, how do you know it's not that? And then Maple goes, because I'm not attracted to straight women. And she's allowing herself to lean a little closer, her arm sliding along the bar top towards the other butch. That's a ridiculous... Wait, are you flirting with me? And she's like,
Listener,
wow, good job.
we're about to be jumping right into this.
Oh.
Roz Alexander writes a real hot lesbian sex scene.
Honestly.
It's just...
so good.
Yeah. This is... Roz came to play.
Uh-huh.
And we're all thankful for it.
Mhm.
Thank you. This is a hearty thank you, Roz Alexander.
No referee
from
needed.
Everybody here at Heaving Bosoms
Mhm.
Podcast, HBAHQ.
Mm-hmm.
You're wonderful. Because, like, it's just like, we don't need to get all, like, we don't need a boyfriend material style sex scene, which is delightful, right? That's a delightful, where it's like, it's very, like, wavy, and it's more like emotions, feelings. It's not
Yeah.
graphic, visceral, I'm putting my fingers in your wet pussy.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of thing. And, like, boy, we get that in this book.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, Maple's like, I'm gonna touch those soft, wet folds,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not gonna touch mine because I'm a stone butch. We're not at that point in the book
Yeah.
yet, but...
Yeah. Well, so then Tally's like, wait a minute, but you're butch. And she's like, yeah, baby, butch for butch. Let me show you how good that can be. And then Tally says, let's go.
Okay, so, like, I know that you've never identified as a lesbian, but you
Yeah.
are bisexual.
Yeah.
And so, like, you've known queer community and stuff like that growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Was Butch for Butch not a thing? Or was it a thing around
It's always
you?
been a thing around me.
Okay, me too. Like, I'm so curious.
Actually, I've seen more butch and femme relationships than I have
Than butch
femme.
femme.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, it just, I'm just fascinated. Listener, tell us, if you know queer people.
What's your queer community like?
What's your
What are
queer
your lesbians
community
doing?
like?
I ask you over there.
Like, I'm just so fascinated.
Yeah.
And if anything, I've gotten more fascinated the older I get.
Mhm.
And the less I subscribe to any gender or gender presentation
Sure.
idea. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, now I'm just like, it's it's wherever the wind blows.
Sure.
You know, that's where we're going today. So it's just, granted, I'm also just fascinated by people who are strictly femme or strictly butch in their
Mhm.
gender presentation. It baffles me.
Particularly queer people or just people?
Anybody.
Oh, okay. Because I think I'm strictly femme.
I'm talking like the very ends of the spectrum.
Okay.
Not like I'm talking like full face of makeup, like classic feminine gender like female, or like classic woman gender presentation,
like trad wife presentation,
at least in the United States, versus classic really masculine butch butch presentation. Not necessarily trad wife, but like high femme and like hard butch.
Yeah, like very
those
curated.
two very opposite ends of the spectrum. Not, sometimes I'll go out in public in sweatpants or things like that. It just, or not even sweatpants, but like sometimes I wear pants. Yeah, but anyway, I'm rambling because I was just I'm always so flabbergasted by it. And I know people like that. I know people, and I'm like, I don't know you well enough to ask you why.
Sure.
Without it being a direct attack. Because I'm not judging you. You do whatever it is that you want to as far as your gender presentation. But, like, I'm just baffled.
I think the way that I can relate to that statement is the best way I can say is from one of the most recent seasons of Love is Blind. I feel like I talk about this a lot. But there was this one lady on the show.
About what? Reality shows, or specifically Love is Blind?
For some reason, I feel like a lot of my anecdotes relate back to Love is Blind specifically.
Okay,
Although reality, like dating in general, for sure. Anyway, there was a lady on one of the most recent seasons who ended up like with a dude, but they didn't get sent on to like the next phase of the show. And she was fascinating to me because she was ultra femme presenting and ultra like traditionally femme, I guess, minded, maybe you could say, because like one of the things I don't think I'll ever forget her saying is something to the effect of, yeah, it's really expensive to be my boyfriend, because Not only is she very curated, like it's a monthly facial, it's an every 2 weeks nails, it's an every, I don't know how many times, the blonde needs to get updated. It's plastic surgery. It's everything, right? And she also expects whoever is with her to pay for that because they are the man in her life. And again, I'm not judging, but it is one of those things where I'm like, how does that conversation start? How is that a thing you negotiate up front? Because I understand a sugar baby relationship, but if it's just a romantic relationship, do you just have to go for also really traditionally minded men if you're straight? I don't know how that works. But I keep on trying to put myself in a situation where I tell my partner they're going to pay for my $300 monthly facials. And I can't do it.
I can't imagine telling a partner that unless I am doing it, unless they want me to start doing something.
Oh, of course. If they bring it up, yeah, sure.
I'm like, I don't mind doing that, but you're paying for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Agreed there.
I'm not paying for that myself. That's not something I would. That's
felt
not a choice for me.
Very her-inspired,
I literally cannot imagine telling somebody, because I don't know that it's an ask. It's a tell. It sounds like that's a deal breaker. Probably.
I think so.
If you're not paying for it, then I'm not with you, kind of thing. But I'm trying to imagine if somebody told me that. What would my reaction be if somebody looked me dead in my face and says, in order to date me, you have to pay for blank, 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 and blank. And I think that I would think they were kidding, and I think I would laugh.
Sure.
And then when I realized that they were not kidding, I'd be like, oh, this isn't going to work.
Yeah. But my thing really is not only the conversation, but it's also logistics. Is this a monthly stipend? A girlfriend stipend situation that she asks for?
Do I get a credit card?
Yeah. Do you just hand me one of your black cards or whatever? And there's no limit on what I do? I was literally just
thinking this is going to have to be a black card. I feel like this has to be a black card situation, black Amex situation.
I mean, her clothes were beautiful. So, yes.
Wait, he's paying for the clothes too?
That was my understanding. But I'm also what stage of the relationship is that? Is that, it's after date 3 for sure, right? But when is it? When does that transition happen?
I mean, I feel like part of it is not necessarily that you would, I think that you need to have the conversation, but it might be pretty obvious because I'm guessing that this person is not paying for dinner at very, very nice, fancy, expensive places.
Sure, but that's different.
Why?
Because again, it's one of those things where I'm guessing that in that dynamic, the man is asking her on a date and choosing the establishment. Right? That's get your pussy waxed, I'll pay for it. That's a situation that I understand, right?
Yeah.
But also a situation I don't think I could ever go for, but we're cool.
What, regular waxing?
Yeah.
Have you ever been waxed?
No. It's very scary.
Yeah. I've gotten a couple of Brazilians just to see what it was.
Yeah.
See what it was like.
How did that go?
And it was fine.
Was it?
I mean, it hurt. It was waxing. They're ripping hair out of your labia.
And lots of it at the same time. Man, I tried to wax my sideburns. No, not my sideburns. Some of my neck hairs the other day. Because I don't like my hairline anymore at the back of my neck. Because, I don't know, I feel like everything is growing more now that I'm 38. I don't know. I feel like an old man with ear hairs or something.
I didn't even consider that a neckline was something that could modify as you got older and that you might not like the way that it modifies.
You're welcome.
I wonder if part of it, though, is the fact that I get
you always have short
so
hair.
Regularly, and I have short hair. And so, my hair is cut in a way that my neckline is part of haircut.
Yeah.
Yours is...
Mine is not part of haircut.
That's hidden.
Yes. Yeah.
Watch me get off this fucking podcast today.
Oh, no, don't go look at your neck hairs.
I'm going to go look at my hairline.
No, don't.
I'm going to go. It's one of those things I'm specifically looking at it with brand new eyes because I see it, right? Every time I get my haircut, I get to see the back of it. How do you feel about this?
Well, do they shave it for you?
At it with brand new eyes.
Do they shave it like a dude's hairdo always does? Oh, okay.
Oh, well, some of the haircuts that I've had historically, yes.
Okay.
But my current haircut, no, because it's all like the
You got
short
a
hair on
little-
the
yeah, she's
sides.
got a little
It goes to
sexy mullet
it goes to a
situation.
V at the back,
Yeah.
and yeah, dude, I need a haircut so bad.
Y'all,
I need
Sabrina-
to remember to message my thing.
Sabrina's doing some things with her hair lately that's just unfair to the world, frankly. I don't know. Look.
Thank you. I feel like I'm not even gonna like bashfully brush it off.
No.
I've been feeling myself lately.
Incredible.
So like, you're right. I am a hot piece of ass with this hair.
Incredible stuff.
I mean, I'm a hot piece of ass without the hair.
Yeah.
But like, especially with the hair.
Like, how dare you?
I get my hair cut and dyed, and I walk out of the house, and I'm like,
Ooh.
damn, it's good to be fine. Like, let's go, baby. Hello, world, you're welcome. It's amazing what a good haircut will do.
Truly. Truly. Okay, so they go back to Maple's house, which is an apartment above her art studio. Tally does not know this, though. Tally just sees some stairs and a hot woman she needs to get to the top of them so that they can bone, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And they get all the way to the top. It's like the fumbling, walking backwards, like kind of making out urgency
Like,
to
you
get
are
to the
just
bed.
so hot for each other
Ugh.
that you cannot unlock your lips long enough to
Yeah.
actually look at where you're going.
Yeah.
And then, how does it happen exactly that they figure
Pretty
out?
sure Tally says, "I'm Tally, by the way." And then Maple
Yes,
giggles and
and
says,
then Maple's like,
"Tally Blue?"
oh.
And she's like, "Are you a
And
stalker?" And then she's like,
Maple's like,
"Oh, no." And Maple goes, "Oh, I'm Maple." And then Tally freaks
Mhm.
out because they're colleagues. But she doesn't freak out hard enough to get out of that
I
bed.
remember the first time I read this book because I was like, couldn't be me.
What?
I am not fucking that future coworker when we're meeting in the morning. I don't know if you're gonna be a fucking weirdo about it.
Yeah.
Are you fucking your future coworker?
Look, things
pre-coworker
seem
times?
pretty intense, and it seems like, nerve endings are already firing in very fruitful ways, and it seems like it would be tough to walk away from.
Our pants aren't even off at this point. Like, I almost certainly, if I went on a
You're a
6-hour
boarding
trip
mission?
and I'm gonna be gone for a day or two, if I'm gonna be gone for a day or two, I gotta vibe back in the hotel. It's fine. I'm going home.
I also had a really hard time with their proximity to each other.
Like, let's revisit this once this is done. Because clearly we have chemistry, but I'm honestly like, hello, forced proximity for the next 6 months, and we know
God.
that we're horny for each other, and then we just get to like,
Sounds like a fucking nightmare, Sabrina. Ugh.
we just get to yearn for 6 months.
No,
and then
fuck that.
have explosive sex. It's like,
No.
okay, we're no longer coworkers, and then boom, we blink and we're in each other's vaginas.
No,
like,
I'm an instant gratification kind of a sexy gal. You know what I mean? I don't like the other stuff. I end up appreciating it if I am forced to, okay? But given my druthers, fuck that.
I mean, I am somebody who, if the vibes are right, I fuck on the first date.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't talk. I love the idea.
In fact,
of
historically,
holding off and yearning.
Oh,
but
God.
I, in reality, I do keep single packs of lube in all of my purses now.
That's the
so,
thing, I mean,
that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and like historically, I'm just like immediately a hypocrite if I try to even front that I'm not a person who has sex on the first date. Like, I told my now husband we're not having sex tonight, and then I was immediately going back on my word.
You immediately took it back?
To the point that he had to like check with me and be like, whoa, are you sure? And I was like, get, lay down.
Get in the bed. Get the condom on.
Yeah, like I'm.
Hey,
Mm-mm.
yeah. I think that I love it when somebody else makes me do it. Like, maybe that's all. Like, that's a kink in and of itself. With somebody being
Like I said, I end
I'm
up
not gonna touch you.
appreciating it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh, but I'm
bratty about it. I'm a bitch
on
about
the
it.
inside. I got called a brat again the other day.
Babe,
and I
you're a
was like,
brat.
I know. No.
Babe, you're a bratty pillow princess. That's what you are.
That is not what you said that one time. You said I was a bratty little princess sub.
Well, you are.
No, a slutty,
slut
bratty
sub.
little slut princess. What was it you said?
I think I meant to say
boy,
bratty
you
little,
rolled
bratty
it out of
princess
fucking
sub, but I ended up saying bratty little princess slut.
Oh no,
maybe.
you meant to say bratty little princess slut,
But I
and
said
then
sub.
because of the conversation, but you said sub, and it was a direct attack. It was like, it was a nailed in sonar, radar, lidar, just right in the fucking center of my chest.
That's
with
what
your whole chest.
I stand on it. Okay, you can't make me take it back.
It's fine. Apparently everybody would agree with you. I don't agree, but that's fine. But then I get told that
hey,
me
babe,
not agreeing is a sign of it.
That's pretty bratty of you. To disagree with everyone in our faces that you're a brat. Pretty bratty.
Wow. In the year of our Lord Beyonce. And the last year of our Lord and Savior Beyonce, you tell me to my beautiful face. So fucking rude.
Well,
anyway,
here's the deal. Neither of these people could ever be. They refuse.
No, they
to be
choose
seen
to
as
fuck that night.
No, I'm transitioning, ma'am.
Oh.
I'm going to another topic. Okay, just hang on for the
Oh.
journey. You know what I mean? Buckle in, I guess, is what I'm saying to you.
Mm.
Neither of these people could ever, ever, ever identify as a sub, though, because they are capital T tops. Period. The end.
Well, it's not that they're so like that's interesting because there's a difference between sub and bottom, and there's there's sub and like a difference between top and dom.
Yeah.
Right. It depends on what you're playing in, right? And it's just so interesting, this idea of topping versus bottoming in sexual situations like this, right? Where it's just kind of the norm for both people to do a fingering, right?
Sure.
Like it is somewhat unusual in sapphic experiences like this for like I don't know a whole, like I said earlier that I know stone queers, but I don't know a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting because, and I don't know if what is your experience with this? I think that this is fascinating as somebody who, I identified as a lesbian for a long time. There is this thing where it's totally fine if you're stone, but like it might be weird to some people, but it's fine. But there's a stigma around pillow princess.
Oh yeah.
And last year I realized that I had some internal, like I had like internalize some things where like I didn't even register that I had that stigma about pillow princess, where stone's fine but pillow princess is not, until I was talking to somebody and they got talking about their stone and they're like, yeah, I prefer a pillow princess. And it's like, immediately that term, boy, you toss out the term pillow princess and it's like that is a judgment.
There's a selfish connotation
that
that goes with it.
And it's not that it's selfish, it's just that you're not going to be sexually compatible with some people.
Exactly.
And that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like that's a conversation that doesn't happen in the same way that like kinks might, like you're going to have like people are going to have a conversation. You're going to have a conversation about kink, right? You're going to have a discussion to see whether or not you are kink compatible. And this idea that you should just be sexually compatible with anybody and mold yourself around other people.
Right.
That's not true.
No.
It's not. You're not going to have a fulfilling sex life with that person because you're either going to be wanting something that you don't get, or you're going to be giving something you don't want to give. Right. Or if it's just, it was very interesting. And so I've had to do, some work, like read some articles and things like that on. And so now when I immediately hear pillow princess, it's not like a
visceral, you're coming at my jugular.
A visceral. Well, it's not even me specifically.
No, I know.
But like, it's just if you use the term pillow princess, it's like, fuck a pillow princess. And it's like, fuck a pillow princess.
Right. And it's so funny because pillow princess has always been fascinating to me because it goes in both directions, right? It goes in the slutty direction and the frigid direction. Because I feel like pillow princess is also associated with, I think, what cis-het people usually call starfishing, right? Where you're just like, here I am, like, and that's supposed to be a negative thing as well. Or like
what? Lay back and think of England
yes,
kind of shit?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, like not being engaged in the sexual act. Whereas pillow princesses...
I think I've heard starfishing before, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas being a pillow princess is being so engaged in the sexual act that, like, the rest of the cognitive functions don't necessarily, like, they aren't necessarily firing at the same rate or speed or efficiency as they might otherwise. You know what I mean?
Interesting. That is not what I think of when I think of pillow princess.
Okay.
But that's just interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, whether you're doing it because it's sort of like the natural thing to do to, like, just let go completely and let somebody else make the big decisions about what's going to happen sexually, like knowing your preferences and all of that. Or if it's because, like, it really is like a sensory overload situation that then creates that
I would
state.
say that I would definitely agree that there are different flavors of pillow princess.
Yeah.
Take that as you will.
Yeah.
And sorry, I just got distracted because oral's fun. Anyway.
What?
So I said there's different flavors of pillow princesses.
Oh, good Lord.
I was making an oral joke 'cause I'm a fucking
Hilarious.
13-year-old boy. Anyway, so...
Well, so they come to this almost impasse because once there is, like, the decision on, okay, no, it's go time on fucking a colleague or a potential colleague, then they're both
one of
like...
my favorite lines that
yeah.
have ever come out of any book, because I don't remember who says this, it doesn't matter, but one of them, I think it's Maple, that says, "What a tragedy. 2 tops, 1 bed.
Yeah.
Nothing to be done about it." And not only are they 2 tops, but Maple is a stone butch.
Yes.
Maple does not like to be touched. Maple is not interested in being touched by their sexual partner. They get their sexual gratification from touching and watching and doing things. And, like, it's very interesting because Maple, we learn in this scene, Maple likes being told what to do.
Yes.
She just doesn't want you to do it.
Right. Well, and yeah, I really loved that Roz brought in so much nuance because I think I had only heard of being a stone top, and my understanding didn't include, like, the stone butch component, or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know, but I didn't realize that it almost has to come with the no touching component. That's how it's sort of presented here, and that's something that Maple has to
come
clarify.
with no touching?
Being a stone top. Yeah.
Oh, so when I hear stone, I assume it's just that you don't touch me. That's what it, like.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I guess I thought of it more as being a service top.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like that's a common misconception.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's because, like, you can be a submissive, like, stone submissive.
Yeah. But
There's
does that involve no touching?
You would not be touching. Like, they would not touch you.
They would not touch you.
If you were a stone submissive, they would not touch you, but you would still be submissive to them in a BDS, like,
okay,
in a
yeah.
kink
That
situation.
makes sense. Yeah.
And it's really interesting, especially when everything gets boiled down. Like, you can read as many articles as you want and all of those things, but it's not until you actually sit down and talk to people in the community that you really realize, like, how vast,
how much nuance there is.
Things are like, it's just so nice. And this is why you have to have a conversation, even if you're in a vanilla, straight, cis relationship, monogamous. Okay, you should still be having conversations because there's nuance. Okay, there's nuance in things,
and the more we talk about it, the better sex we can have. You know, the more comfortable you are. Yeah. So Maple asks, like, so are you exclusively a top, or, like, are you a stone top or whatever? And Tally's like, no, not necessarily, but it's mostly that she doesn't let strangers fuck her. There's no penetration with strangers. And so Maple is like, okay, well, I am 100% a stone top. So what can we do here? Why don't you tell me what you would do to me if you were going to top me? And then, like, we can both touch ourselves. And then Tally, I love her because Maple makes this suggestion and then Tally clarifies, like, okay, so you're okay with me watching you? And Maple's like, yes, absolutely. So I don't know. It was such a great conversation because it pulled out nuance that I feel like I would have just assumed. You know what I mean?
Really?
I mean,
that's not a problem. I'm just interested.
No, I know. But, like, if somebody says we should masturbate together, my immediate reaction isn't, I have to figure out a way to not look at them while they do it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't ask, can I watch you? Because you just told me you want to masturbate in front of each other.
Okay. I thought you were saying the opposite. I thought you were saying you would assume that as a stone top, Maple would be uninterested in
no.
being watched kind of thing. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, so
it's so good.
I also love this. They both wear binders.
Yes.
Because that's not every mask is, like, not every butch person wears a binder.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really cool that got brought in because, I mean, some people do. You don't have to be trans to wear a binder.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I'm in a wedding this year and we are getting custom suit made for it. And I'm ordering a binder because a sports bra just isn't going to cut it. And just generally, unless you get like a super duper intensely tailored custom suit, which I'm not going to that extreme because that's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Like the bazumba's got to go somewhere.
Exactly.
And in this instance, they got to go flat against that
as flat as possible
region. Yeah.
Golly.
And so like you don't have to be actively binary trans to wear a binder.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also don't have to wear a binder to be butch.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Or mask or anything like that. So anyway, fucking Maple is now fully naked except for her binder. And I was like, girl, hey.
Yeah.
What's up? So they're basically Tally's describing things and like telling her what to do. And then I thought this was really interesting because Tally doesn't take off her boxer. She's touching herself in her boxers.
Yes.
Like through her pants. And so Maple can't even really see what exactly is going on. She just gets like the hint of what Tally is doing. And then it's just they're just so hot for each other. Oh my god, at one point Maple, did you already say this? Maple looks at her and says, "Come on, little butch. Tell me how you'd fuck me."
Oh my god. It's so hot. And then during this scene also, Tally looks at Maple and says, "Good girl."
Yes, and Maple is like, I've never been told that before, but I kind of like, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm your good little girl. And like these motherfuckers are filthy with their mouths. At one point, Tally says,
"I love
now
you.
spread those." What did
best.
I say?
They're filthy with their mouths. It's really cute.
Yeah, I said what I said.
That's right.
And because Tally looks at her and says, "Now spread those pussy lips for me and let me watch you tease your hole with those dripping fingers."
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Tally, coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, hello, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
It was fun. It was hot. It's yeah.
It's
anyway.
great stuff.
And
Great
then
stuff.
everything goes to shit the next morning.
Boy, because Tally freaks out again. Tally, look.
And
Tally
you know
gets in her head.
I'm not gonna say that I don't understand because I'd be a fucking liar. Because Tally is like, oh my fucking god, I cannot believe that I did this. And she literally, like, Maple's like, all right, you want to go get like some breakfast before we meet up? Like, we'll just, and then we can have our meeting, blah, blah, blah. And Tally says, no, I don't think so. And I'd prefer if we could find our way back to being work acquaintances.
Ugh.
Last night was regrettable.
This night was regrettable. It's one of the meanest things you can say to a person, I think. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Tough.
Is that how?
Tough.
Is that how we're feeling?
It's
right
rough.
now?
Yikes.
I don't know. Are we sure? Okay. It's fine. And then literally every sphincter clenched because if somebody looked me dead in my beautiful face and said this to me, I would shrivel up and die.
Yeah, I would be worried that I had like hurt them somehow or you know what I mean? Like that I had crossed a line that I shouldn't that I didn't know about or so like I would feel woof. And so Maple is trying to be professional about it. Maple's like, the only thing I can do right now is fall back on professionalism.
Maple handles this better than I would in this situation. I would be so fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's
like
tough.
And this is why I am a person who would not fuck a potential new coworker.
That's fair.
And it is strictly because, my God, if you respond this way the next day, I am going to shrivel up into a ball.
You're totally right.
And die.
You're totally right.
This is death now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dead. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's fine.
So they decide that they're gonna end up at like a pollinator charity garden 501c3 situation that I sort of
called bee porn.
Yeah, it's called bee porn, or it used to be called that. They tried to rename it, and of course, it's not going to work. Of course, you're always bee porn. Please.
Yeah. In what world are you not bee porn?
Why wouldn't
That's just
you? Got to celebrate it. You got to own it. Okay, bee porn.
They do not own it. In fact, they do change the name, and poor Tally. Like, Maple just really likes needling Tally.
Oh, God.
And Maple likes a poke.
Trolling is her love language.
Yes. Maple is a melody. And they are, like, meandering out. They're, like, walking around the whole thing. We find out that, unsurprisingly, Tally is, like, pretty specific in the things that she likes and does not like. Yes. Because, like, she doesn't like being sticky, for example.
Yep.
It at all. And then unfortunately at the end of the tour she does end up face first in the discard honeycomb pile, and I get it. I don't even mind being sticky, and I would not be okay with that situation.
The only thing you can tell yourself is like, it's antibacterial and like it's good for your skin. And so many benefits, but yet she's covered in honey.
I'm fascinated that you would.
Wait, no, I have to clear the air with you right now. I need to know what side of history you're on, Sabrina, right now, okay? Would you then, because of like, I don't know, stubborn pride, get into your car and drive all the way home covered in honey? Or
Never.
Would you see if you could grab a pal shower somewhere?
I would literally find a truck stop.
Yes.
And shower before I got in my car and drove anywhere.
Gets in her car. And it was tough on the proximity for me. And I don't know if you have a better handle on it. But I thought at first they were like 2 or 3 hours away from each other. But then at the end of the book, they're like 45 minutes or an hour away from each other. And I didn't know if that was like the
what I was under the
impression
is I think the garden location. I also got confused there because I think that the garden location is 6 hours away, and that just happened to be where Maple was currently because of doing their art thing up there.
Okay, yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like, if you're this close to being done with the project, why aren't you at home at your studio? And I had a lot of questions.
They were home at their
and
studio.
then I just realized that I don't care.
Same. The only thing I need to know by the end of the book is that they are driving distance to each other. That's all I need to know. Anyway.
Well, because I did have the thought when I remember very vividly the first time I read this book and they were talking about like visiting each other. I was like, I don't love anybody enough to drive 6 hours regularly. There's not a single person in this world that I'm willing to do a 6-hour drive more than twice a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Specifically to them, right? Like we can go on like miscellaneous trips and stuff, but just to like go to your house, I'm not driving 6 hours.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm sorry.
Especially not like once a month.
Not alone, anyway. Like if it's a road trip, if it's an adventure, if it's a thing, if the trip in and of itself, but like, let me tell you, as somebody who was semi-regularly driving back and forth when I lived in Arkansas to visit friends in Lafayette, like, boy, that's a 4.5-hour drive, and I just, oh my God,
Yikes.
It's not even that long. Like, that's like not that, I mean, it's just boring. It's the exact same fucking drive through the exact same soy fields and crawfish ponds, and there's nothing to fucking see. And like the journey is not a fun adventure. The journey is necessary to get to the end goal, and it sucks. So no, I don't love you enough to drive 6 hours.
I
Get
thought it
fucked.
was 6 hours round trip in the book. 3 hours there, 3 hours back. That was my understanding.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
I thought it was 6 hours one way.
Mm-mm. No, but because that would make Tally a
I
true
still stand by it.
psychopath.
I'm not driving. I mean, even
I hear
still,
you.
6 hours round trip. I'm not driving once a month for
I
that.
agree.
On my own. I'm
I
so
hear
sorry.
you. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a proximity bitch.
No, but it makes Tally's choices a little bit more forgivable when I think, okay, it's like 2.5 or 3 hours, not 6 hours, but still, that's a wild choice to me. That's bananas.
Well, especially for this brand new person that you already feel awkward around and you're trying to be chill because now you're coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drive 3 hours for that once a month.
I'm talking about covered in honey, dude.
Cut that.
Nope.
I don't know. I was already 3 steps ahead. I was on a whole different. Anyway.
All right. So we spend the next, I don't know, quarter of the book watching them live their lives and go from like colleagues to text friends. And Maple never stops flirting the whole time.
Yes. How would you handle that? If you have asked somebody, like, because there is a quote in this book that is, she had always been bad at enforcing her own boundaries, and now that someone was respecting them, it was weirdly intoxicating. Which is true and accurate, but I was like, Maple's pushing on those.
I was going to say,
in your text messages.
I didn't see Maple really respecting them.
I didn't.
It wasn't egregious. It wasn't like
no. It wasn't
I
like
need a restraining order.
Hey, I wish you were. I wish you were here right now. Please come fuck me. It wasn't like there was nothing like that going on. But like, I was like, define respecting your boundaries.
Yeah, because you were like, we're colleagues. Period. The end. Like, she didn't explicitly say no flirting, but that was definitely the implication. And Maple's pretty cheeky. And like, I think that's also just part of her personality / sense of humor, you know? But anyway, yeah, I didn't see a whole lot of like letter of the law.
Boundary respecting.
Yeah, boundary respecting. Totally.
Okay. All right. I'm glad that you're on the same page, because like it's mentioned a couple of times and I was like, I don't know that we have the same definition of boundary respecting.
Yeah.
But hey, if it works, it works. Live your best life. It's fine.
That's where we're going to stop for today. We'll be back tomorrow with the second half of this absolutely delicious book. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomspodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you tomorrow.